Sam from Sheridan Computers. We're going to continue our series of videos looking at Asterisk and how to get it installed, set up, configured and running as a fully blown PBX on FreeBSD. If you find these videos useful, please do take the time to hit the like button. I do put a lot of effort into these videos and it really does help the channel. Also, if you consider subscribing to the channel and if you hit the notifications icon, you'll get the notification of any new videos as they are released. If you would like to hire us for any projects, please head over to our website at sheridan.co.uk. If you click on the Hire Us button, fill out the form, leave some details on what you're looking for, and we'll get back to you. So in this session, I'm going to take a look at setting up voicemail. In the previous video that we did, we created an extension, so it'd be nice if we had voicemail support on this system. So we're going to go ahead and configure that today. So if you recall, our configuration files are in user, local, etc. Asterisk. Sorry. And if you remember rightly, we have our Asterisk configuration file, we've got our extensions configuration file, which is the dial plan, we've got our modules, and we've got our PJ-SIP, which is the extensions, which are the only configuration files that we've done so far. So now we're going to go ahead and create our voicemail.conf file. One thing I will advise on here is not to use includes. If you check the sample files, it will say don't use includes within this, so don't include other files, because Asterisk has to write to this file to change the passwords for voicemail and things, so it just doesn't work properly. So we create our general section, and first thing we're going to do is format equals WAV, and that's format to attach format of VM to attach to email. And I'm going to do server email equals asterisk at example.com. Email to send from, and then we're going to do attach equals yes, which attach the VM to the email rather than just receiving the notification of a new email. And we want minsex equals 3. Minimum length of VM recordings, I believe it's 0 by default. Yeah, if someone leaves a voicemail of less than 3 seconds, then I'm not too bothered. I'm going to set max sex equals 180. So that's the maximum length of VM recordings. Max greeting, so max greet, we'll set that to 60. Maximum length of greeting. Silence threshold equals 128. So that's what we consider as silence. Lower equals more sensitive, so you can adjust that as necessary. 128 should be fine. You can have max logins equals 3. Maximum number of failed login attempts. That's pretty much all we need to put in here. So now we can go ahead and specify a new context as default. And we created an extension which was 200, I believe. So I'm going to create a new voicemail for extension 200. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the pin to access the voicemail. We can put the name of whose voicemail it is and their email address. So with that, we've created our first voicemail box. So now let's go into Asterisk. And let's do a voicemail reload. So now we've reloaded the voicemail configuration. Commands there. If we do question mark, we can do show users. So now you can see the contents, the mailbox 200, the user, and how many new messages we've got in there. So that's that configured. So now we have a new mailbox. Let's go ahead and test it. Okay. So we're now good to go. So if we dial extension 200, and it just rings out. So we're going to need to change our dial pan a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so we're going to need to recreate our extension 200. Now before I do that, I'm going to define some globals. Oh. It's an error, it should be globals, not global. Dial timeout equals 10. I'm going to put extend 200 equals, and let me copy this. So now we can delete this bit. Okay, so what this does is I'm setting global variables here, so dial timeout is a variable I'll now be able to refer to, and it's set to 10 seconds. So if we're calling dial timeout and we want our extensions for 10 seconds, rather than specifying it on every extension that we define, if we needed to change it, I'd have to edit on all of them, whereas opposed to I can just change this value up here. And I've got extension 200 and I've declared the endpoint. There is a reason for doing that, because there's a reason where you'll specify the endpoint multiple times when you're using device hints, which we'll go over later, not in this video. So this bit we want to go sub dial internal. I want to go to S1. So we've got two arguments here. So the first one is the endpoint that we want to dial, which is going to be $extension 200, and the second argument, which is the dial time, and we're going to put dial timeout. So I'll call this subroutine down here dial, and I'll replace these two arguments with the extension 200, which resolves to this endpoint here, and the dial timeout, which is set to 10 seconds, so we can adjust it later. So the next part we need to do is to set another variable, and I want to set voicemail message equals, and then we're going to do if $, and we're going to put a statement in here. It's going to be $, go sub retval. So this part we're getting the return value, which is going to be the dial status, and if that equals busy, then we want to return busy, otherwise we want to return unavailable. Just give me a second to check the brackets right. Seem to have done. That is always a bit of a pain in Asterisk. And then thirdly, we're going to go sub, and we're going to call our voicemail down here. So we're going to go sub voicemail S1, and then argument 1, which is going to be the voicemail box. So we can do $extend, which will That's an internal asterisk variable, and it will resolve to the extension that was dialed to this one. So you can remember we created the voicemail box as 200, so we've got 200 here. That will resolve to that. So we're telling it to go to voicemail box 200. The next one is the context, which was set in voicemail.conf. And then finally, we want the result of this here. So that's going to be dollar voicemail message. And it's always good practice to finish off with a hang up. Oh, I think we should be good at that. Let me go into Asterisk then. Let's reload our dial plan. No errors, it's always a good sign. So if we show dial plan, so it's dial plan show. So we can see our complex dial plan. So now if we dial extension 200, we should get voicemail after 10 seconds.
The person at extension 200 is unavailable.
Yeah, you'll
Please
notice
leave
the
your message after
voicemail
the tone.
greetings are
When
American.
done, hang
We'll change
up
that as well.
or press the pound key.
So I'm going to leave a message in that mailbox and then we're going to hang up. Yes, I will receive that as an email in a second. So we do need to set localization, and that will be the next video. So we've got our voicemail. We've got no way to retrieve it. So we need to set that up, which we'll go ahead and do next. Actually, I've just noticed we've got an error here. Unexpected closing bracket. Let's go ahead and fix that. It's always good to have errors. Let me have a look where it is. So, if busy. Okay, so this is a bit I've missed. We have a square bracket here because we're going to do an expression, but we're missing the closing bracket. Let's reload the dial plan. Try that. Reload the dial plan. Try that again.
The person at extension 200 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
This is message number 2 that we're going to leave. Now, as you can see, no errors came up that time, so I'm sorry about that. So the next part we need to do is to set up the dial plan to actually retrieve our voicemail messages. Just go ahead and do that real quick. So let's edit our extensions.conf again. And our effects group. There are ways of splitting these up. Remember, you can use includes for Asterisk. So we'll go ahead and clean that up afterwards. I just want to get it working. So we need to specify a new extension, and it's going to be star 97, which is kind of like the standard for Asterisk. One no op, as I always start. And then the first thing that we need to do is answer the call. And then we need to go to if voicemail info, and then caller ID num. That's right. Exists. That's right. So we get we're calling the function VM info for the number called, and we're checking basically if it exists. So if we do have a voicemail box, So if that equals 1, then we go to voicemail. Otherwise we're going to go to a no voicemail prompt. And I'll show you what them are. They're basically labels where you can jump around the code. So if we get to this part, we have a voicemail box. So voicemail main $caller ID num. At default. Voicemail main $caller ID num at default. I'm going to go to the first thing. Yeah, that's right. Same, and then we can hang up. And now we do the other label, no VM. So these are labels that we can use to jump around with this go-to statement. So if we've got a VM, we jump to here. We've got the hang up clause, and if we've got no voicemail, then we want to play back no VM. And then we just hang up. So this is the code that we need to retrieve our messages. If I've not made any mistakes again. Which don't appear to have done. Let's see if we can actually retrieve our voicemail messages.
You have 2 new messages. Press 1 for new messages. Press 2 to check first. Message received at 7:15 p.m.
So I'm going to leave a message in that mailbox, and then we're going to hang up.
Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to repeat the current message. Press 6 to play the next message. Press 7 to delete this message. Message deleted. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 5 to repeat the last message received at 7:18 p.m.
This is message number 2 that we're going to leave.
Message deleted. Press 4 for the...
Okay, so we've got our voicemail working, but you'll notice if we've not got a voicemail box, then we should play back with no VM. So we need to test that, so we'll set up another extension without voicemail. In fact, the easiest way is if I comment out our own voicemail box, so mess about creating another extension. Now voicemail reload. So now if we start dialing, and it didn't work. Unable to open, no VM. So that's an error on my part. I don't mind having errors because you'll get them, and I'm sure it's going to help you as well. Extensions.com, vi extensions.conf. Where's my mistake? Should start 97. I think that's no VM box. Let's try it again. Nope. Oh, hang on, yeah. That'll plan reload it. Thought that's what it was. So all the files you can find them in user local share asterisk sounds en. We do star VM star. VM hyphen no box. I thought that's what I put. Alright. Ask about face. We'll get there in the end. So now if we reload our dial plan,
You cannot reply to this message because the sender does not have a mailbox.
so that's working. So it's always good to test your dial plans. One really good feature in Asterisk, you can do core set debug set to 99, core set verbose 99, and then, which is what I did, and obviously when you dial you can see what's going on.
You cannot reply to this message.
And if we just set them off again, let's try that again.
You cannot reply to this
See, we
message
have no debug
because the
output
sender does
to
not.
find any errors, so this is always a good way of finding any errors. So that's it for voicemail creation. Let's load our mailbox back. There's the voicemail.conf.
You have no messages. Press 2 to change folders. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 0 for mailbox options. Press star for help or
So there's a
pound
lot of
to
options.
exit.
So
Press star to return to the main menu. Press 2 to change folders. Press 3 for advanced options. Press 0 for mailbox options. Press 1 to record your unavailable message. Press 2 to record your busy message. Press 3 to record your name. Press 4 to record your temporary greeting. Press 2 to change folders.
So there's also a lot of options in the voicemail that you can have a play with. So the next thing I want to do is just to tidy our dial plan up a bit. So we've got our extensions.conf, which has all our extensions and stuff in it. So I'm going to do make data extensions, cd extensions, and I'm just going to copy my extensions file into here for a second. So features.conf. If I go into features.conf, I want to remove all this. I'm going to create a new context here called features. Remove that. Give it a comment. So now if we go back in here, we can do general hash include extensions features.conf. And then, so we've got our features, so we can remove it from here, which keeps our dial plan nice and clean. And to include it in here, we do include features. So this include features here refers to this context that I've given it here. So now we can reload our dial plan, and we should still be able to dial voicemail.
You have no messages. Press 2 to change folders. Press 3 for advanced options.
So that's a really tidy way to keep your extensions.conf tidy. And because the more crap that you stick in here, the more complicated it'll get and the harder it'll be to read. So yeah, the macros, we can even go ahead and move these subroutines into separate files. I'll leave that to you to do as you wish. So as I said, our voicemail is American. The next thing that we're going to do is set it to UK, and we also need to set the dial tone, the dialing tones, to UK as well, because they're also set to US. So that's probably what we're going to go through in the next video. If you do like this video, please hit the like button. As I say, it really does help. We've put in a lot of effort into this channel, and we can do all the help we can get. Consider subscribing to the channel, and if you hit the notifications icon, you'll get the notifications any videos we do. Until the next video, we'll catch you next time.